me tell you something important. Progress isn't about luck. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, or someone else to hand you an opportunity. Progress is about daily effort, daily discipline, and daily choices. The little things you do every day add up, and before you know it, you're standing in a place you once only dreamed about. Success is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. Every single day you have two options. You can either take a step forward or you can stand still. And let me warn you, standing still is just another way of moving backward. Because while you wait, while you hesitate, while you make excuses, the world keeps moving. Others keep improving. The clock keeps ticking. And the person you could have become, they're getting further away. So, what's the secret to progress? It's simple. Do something today that brings you closer to your goal. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a good book. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been putting off. Maybe it's waking up a little earlier to work on your dream before the world wakes up. Whatever it is, do it, and then do it again tomorrow. You see, success isn't built in a day, but it is built daily. The people who achieve great things in life aren't always the smartest, the strongest, or the luckiest. They're the ones who show up. They're the ones who put in the work. They're the ones who refuse to let a single day go by without making even a little progress. And sure, there will be tough days, days when you feel stuck, days when nothing seems to be going your way, days when your energy is low and your motivation is gone. But let me tell you something. Progress doesn't always have to be big. Even crawling forward is better than standing still. Even learning one small lesson from failure is a step in the right direction. So don't wait. Don't make excuses. Don't let another day slip away. Do what you can with what you have where you are, because the secret to success isn't found in tomorrow, it's found in what you do today. Every day presents a choice to move forward, stay where you are, or fall behind. Progress is not something that happens by accident, nor is it something reserved for the lucky few. It is the direct result of intentional decisions made daily. The reality is, success is never a single grand event. It is the accumulation of countless small decisions, actions, and habits. Too often, people wait for the right time. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more energy, more resources, or more confidence. They wait for motivation to strike, for inspiration to magically appear, for conditions to be just right. But the truth is, there is never a perfect time. The only time that matters is today, and the only thing that creates progress is the choice you make right now. Every action you take moves you in one of two directions, forward or backward. There is no such thing as standing still. If you are not actively working on improving, learning, or building something, you are slowly falling behind. Why? Because time does not wait. The world does not pause. The people who are serious about growth are putting in the work while others hesitate. They are reading the books, practicing the skills, making the calls, and pushing forward even when it's uncomfortable. Success is not about taking massive leaps all at once. It is about doing something, no matter how small, every single day that brings you closer to your goal. Some days, progress might look like making a breakthrough, achieving a milestone, or taking a big step forward. Other days, progress might be as simple as pushing through resistance, staying committed, or learning from a mistake. What matters is consistency. When you choose progress daily, something incredible happens. Your actions compound. Just like a tiny drop of water, when repeated consistently, can carve through rock, small daily improvements create transformation over time. The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who doesn't is often just a matter of commitment to these small, repeated efforts. Think about the people who achieve great things. They don't wake up one day and suddenly find themselves successful. They built their success one day at a time. The athlete trains every day, even when they don't feel like it. The writer writes a little every day, even when the words don't flow. The entrepreneur makes small but meaningful decisions each day, even when the results aren't immediate. The key is not to rely on how you feel in the moment, but to commit to progress as a non-negotiable part of your life. Feelings are temporary. There will be days when motivation is high and everything feels easy, but there will also be days when you're tired, discouraged, or uninspired. If your progress is based on emotion, you will struggle. But if your progress is based on discipline and a commitment to showing up daily, you will move forward no matter what. Of course, challenges will arise, distractions will test your focus, doubts will creep in, fear will try to hold you back, but none of these things have power over you unless you allow them to. The best way to overcome them is to keep moving, no matter how small the step. Even the smallest action is more powerful than the best intention. Each day is an opportunity to decide who you are becoming. You don't have to wait for a fresh start, a new year, or someone else's approval. You simply need to decide today that progress is not an option, it's a necessity. When you commit to taking action daily, even in the smallest way, you will look back one day and realize just how far you've come. Progress is often mistaken for big leaps, grand achievements, or overnight success. But the truth is, real progress is built through small, consistent steps taken every single day. The people who succeed in life are not always the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most fortunate. They are the ones who understand the power of small actions and commit to them daily. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that progress must be dramatic. Many people wait for the perfect opportunity to take a massive step forward, thinking that unless they can make a big move, it's not worth the effort. But this mindset is what keeps most people stuck. They overlook the small things they can do today, and because of that, they miss out on the steady growth that leads to true success. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant a seed and expect it to grow into a strong, towering tree overnight. It takes time, it takes daily care, watering, sunlight, and patience. At first, the progress is almost invisible, but as time goes on, those small efforts add up, and before you know it, you have something strong, something lasting. The same principle applies to every goal, every dream, and every area of improvement in life. Small steps may not seem significant in the moment, but their impact compounds over time. Reading just 10 pages of a book each day might seem trivial, but in a year that adds up to over 3,600 pages, equivalent to multiple books that can change your perspective and skills. Exercising for just 20 minutes a day might not feel like much, but over time it transforms your health and energy levels. Making one extra phone call for your business each day might not seem like a game changer, but over a year it results in hundreds of new opportunities. The challenge for many people is that small steps often don't provide immediate rewards. In a world where instant results are expected, patience is rare. People want to see progress immediately, and when they don't, they get discouraged and give up. But just because you don't see the results today doesn't mean the effort isn't working. Progress is often invisible in the early stages, but it is happening beneath the surface. Consider the example of water boiling. At 211 degrees Fahrenheit, water is hot. But at 212 degrees, it boils. That single extra degree makes all the difference. The same principle applies to effort. The small things you do every day might not seem like they're making an impact, but they are building momentum. And one day that momentum reaches a point where everything starts to change. Another key aspect of small steps is that they remove the mental burden of overwhelming tasks. When a goal feels too big, it's easy to procrastinate. But when you break it down into small, manageable actions, it becomes easier to stay consistent. Instead of saying, I need to get in shape, you can say, I'll do 10 push-ups today. Instead of saying, I need to write a book, you can say, I'll write 1 paragraph today. When you focus on what you can do today, you build confidence, create momentum, and make consistent progress. The truth is, most people underestimate what they can achieve in a year, but overestimate what they can accomplish in a day. They set unrealistic expectations, get frustrated when they don't see immediate results, and give up too soon. But those who understand the power of small, consistent actions know that every tiny step forward brings them closer to their goals. The secret to success is not found in giant leaps, but in the small, daily disciplines that most people overlook. It's the little choices repeated consistently over time that create lasting change. When you commit to making even the smallest progress every day, success becomes inevitable. Discipline is the foundation of all lasting success. While motivation is powerful, it is also unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind, sometimes strong and inspiring, other times weak or completely absent. If you rely on motivation alone to make progress, you will find yourself stuck in a cycle of inconsistency, moving forward only when you feel like it and falling behind when you don't. That's why discipline is more important than motivation. It ensures that you take action no matter how you feel. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they start working on their goals. They think, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll work harder when I'm in the mood. But this approach leads to inconsistency, and inconsistency is the enemy of progress. The people who achieve great things in life don't always feel motivated every day. They don't wake up excited every morning. What sets them apart is their commitment to showing up and doing the work, even when they don't feel like it. Think about an athlete training for a competition. Some days they might feel energized and excited to train. Other days they might feel exhausted and unmotivated. But they train anyway. Why? Because they know that success isn't built in a single workout. It's built through consistent effort over time. A musician doesn't become a master of their instrument by playing only when they feel inspired. A writer doesn't finish a book by writing only when they're in the mood. Progress happens when you commit to taking action daily, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is a habit, and like any habit, it is built through repetition. The more you practice showing up and doing the work, the easier it becomes. Over time, discipline becomes second nature. You no longer question whether you should take action, you just do it. It becomes part of who you are. This is why some of the most successful people in the world have strict routines. They don't waste time debating whether they should work on their goals. They simply do it because they have trained themselves to be disciplined. One of the biggest benefits of discipline is that it eliminates the need to constantly make decisions. When you rely on motivation, every day feels like a negotiation with yourself. Should I go to the gym today? Should I work on my project? Should I study? But when you have discipline, these questions disappear. You don't ask yourself if you should take action, you just take action. You free up mental energy and remove the stress of indecision. There will be days when everything feels difficult, days when you feel tired, discouraged, or overwhelmed. These are the moments that separate those who succeed from those who don't. The disciplined person pushes through, knowing that even a small step forward is better than standing still. The undisciplined person waits for motivation to return, losing valuable time and momentum in the process. The good news is, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. It might feel difficult at first, but the more you practice showing up and taking action, the easier it becomes. Start small. Commit to doing one thing each day that moves you forward, even if it's just for a few minutes. Over time, those small actions will add up, and discipline will become part of your identity. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. If you rely on motivation, your progress will be inconsistent. But if you build discipline, success becomes inevitable. It ensures that no matter how you feel, no matter what challenges come your way, you will keep moving forward. And when you keep moving forward, nothing can stop you from reaching your goals. Progress is not always easy. There will be days when everything feels difficult, when nothing seems to be working, and when you start questioning whether your efforts are even worth it. These are the moments that test your commitment, your mindset, and your resilience. The key to making progress every day, no matter what, is to keep going even on tough days. Most people expect progress to be a straight upward path. They imagine consistent growth, steady improvement, and visible results at every step. But in reality, progress is messy. It's filled with ups and downs, moments of clarity followed by moments of doubt, and times when things move forward quickly followed by times when everything feels stuck. The mistake most people make is giving up when things get hard, thinking that setbacks mean failure. But setbacks are not the opposite of progress. They are a part of it. Every successful person has faced challenges, obstacles, and moments of discouragement. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people keep moving forward, even when progress is slow, even when results aren't visible, and even when they feel like quitting. They understand that every effort, no matter how small, still counts. Even on the worst days, doing something is always better than doing nothing. Some days, progress might look like a big breakthrough. Other days, it might be as simple as showing up and putting in the effort, even if the results aren't immediate. What matters most is consistency. Even crawling forward is better than standing still. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but never stop. Because the moment you stop, you allow doubt, fear, and hesitation to take control. One of the best ways to keep going on tough days is to focus on the process, not just the results. When you only focus on results, it's easy to get discouraged if things aren't moving as fast as you'd like. But when you focus on the process, on showing up, putting in the work, and staying consistent, you stay in control. You realize that as long as you keep going, progress is inevitable. Think about a person training in the gym. Some days they feel strong, energized, and capable of pushing their limits. Other days, they feel weak, tired, and unmotivated. But if they show up and do something, even if it's not their best workout, they still make progress. Over time, that consistency adds up. The same principle applies to every area of life. Some days your best effort might be just showing up and putting in minimal work, but even that small effort keeps you moving forward. It's also important to remember that progress is not always visible in the moment. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean your efforts aren't working. Imagine filling a jar with drops of water. At first it seems like nothing is happening, but if you keep adding drops, eventually the jar fills up. The same thing happens with progress. Every small action, every bit of effort, and every lesson learned adds up over time, even if you don't see the results right away. Another way to push through tough days is to remind yourself why you started. When things get difficult, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. But if you take a step back and remember why you set your goal in the first place, you reignite your determination. Your reason for starting must be stronger than any excuse to quit. Lastly, surround yourself with reminders of your progress. Keep track of the small wins, celebrate the little victories, and acknowledge how far you've come. Looking back at what you've already accomplished can give you the motivation to keep moving forward, even on the hardest days. Tough days are part of the journey, but if you commit to making even the smallest progress, no matter what, you will always be moving forward. And if you keep moving forward, success is only a matter of time.